Hello friends, I'm Phoebe. Welcome to my music discovery journey. You've probably guessed that we're covering Loathe today. Loathe were formed in 2014. They're a metalcore, new metal, progressive metal, alternative metal band that also blend other genres. Basically, expect the unexpected. They challenge what the traditional realms of music have been. They bring something fresh every time. I've only covered 3 tracks by them so far. Is It Really You, which is off the album that we're doing today, Revenant and Fangs, and they're all just so different and really cool. They're from Liverpool in the UK, and they're about to release their 4th album on July 17th, 2026. It's called A Stranger to You, but we're going to focus on their 2nd album, I Let It In and It Took Everything. This was released in February 2020. This has been recommended to me so many times, I can't even tell you. There have been so many people that have been mentioning it the last few months, and particularly now that I've been adding a few more Loathe reactions, people are saying I must do it. So this is quite something, apparently, to analyse. Their lineup has changed a little bit, so we're going to be looking at the lineup which featured Kadeem on lead vocals, who is still lead vocals, Eric on guitars and co-lead vocals, who is still there, Connor Sweeney, who left in 2021, he was guitars and backing vocals, Faisal on bass and backing vocals, and Sean on drums. All right, let's play it first. We're going to start with Theme. There's 14 tracks. And we're just going to see how we go. I might stop and start. I might stop between tracks, I think. I think I'd like to stop between tracks. Almost feels kind of serene and calm and peaceful, but is it a calm before the storm? Setting the scene. Feels like I'm walking slowly through somewhere. Raining. The vocals. Okay. It's eerie. Chaotic. But oh wow. drums. Such a good beat. Will you see? Fuck. This is aggressive. Fuck. Okay, that was a hint of the third track, but we've had theme and we've had aggressive evolution. Fuck, that was such a like a whiplash track where it's like you've got the harsh contrasting with the light, cleaner vocals. There's a lot of melodic in there in the chorus as well, and it's just so beautiful but so interesting. They really do create this like feeling of fascination. I'm amazed at what they create and how they do it. There's like this panic, this chaos, and then you've got this like niceness to it. What there's so much contradiction in sounds, but it goes really well together. I've got a cat hair on my lip. Let's go through the lyrics. Now I uncover and enclose through cracking glass. I uncover and close through cracking glass. Talking about their temperament. Yes, repeating again and again. The pursuit and blame will be unreal. By fight and flight, my decision sealed. Is he opening up? I uncover and enclose through cracking glass. Perhaps I'm at a breaking point. Yes, repeating again. Saying yes a lot isn't always good for us. In fact, maybe it's about people pleasing. But then saying the pursuit and blame will be unreal. The consequences that this might have of saying yes all the time. By fight and flight, fight or flight, reactions, responses, my decision's sealed. I have decided to do something. Feels like this bubbling over, building up of breaking point for me. Or is it they can't do anything because something big is happening? I don't know. It says here, I enter, we exit, fleeting thoughts and fears, and again we will dance on moonlit shimmering streets. But when we get there, will you see what I see? Now we exit. So I enter, we exit. What does that mean? I come in, I go in alone, but I come out with this extra entity. I guess I let it in and it took everything. This is setting the scene, isn't it? Right? I'm letting it in. I'm venturing somewhere, and whatever happens on that experience, I take something back with me. So I enter alone, we exit together. Fleeting thoughts and fears. a whole chaos of emotions that are not good. We will dance on moonlit shimmering streets, but when we get there, will you see what I see? Moonlit shimmering streets sounds nice, sounds quite magical, but not everyone will see it that way. Some people might be terrified. Some people might feel reminders of something from their past that doesn't allow them to enjoy it. Some people will love it. Like, perhaps it's talking about different perceptions depending on your experience and what you're going through in your head. Now we exit. Weary mind cradled, trapped within the seat. That feels like they're trapped. They can't get out. Weary mind as well, and cradling, like holding something, looking after, needing looking after because they're tired, exhausted. Trapped within the seat, it shakes excitedly because our eyes can finally meet. Is this feeling that they're letting in that's going to take everything from them? This full sense of security. It's whatever this entity is, it's getting excited because it can finally thrive. Maybe. It's panic fueled and you're blinded by the sun. And again, we will dance on moonlit shimmering streets, but when we get there, will you see what I see? Bloody hell, panic fueled. Even the audio sounds panic fueled. The instruments feel chaotic at times and heavy, and that's pretty cool. You're blinded by the sun, this full sense of security. It's all shiny thing, perhaps, but also distraction, and then being at your most vulnerable can allow someone to take something from you, prey on you, let your guard down and trust something, but maybe naively. Then it repeats with the chorus. There's a refrain, weary mind cradled, trapped within the seat, but when we get there, will you see? So that is repeating of the second verse, 2 lines of the second verse, but then again saying, well, when we get there, will you see? Will you see what I see? What does that mean, though? Is it what I've said of, like, do you see it in the same way? Intertwined, I weave inside your mind. 2 worlds collide as our shadows die twice. Is that because there's 2 of us and we lose ourselves within each other? I weave inside your mind. There is this letting it in. There is this bonding connection of entities. 2 worlds colliding, but our shadows die twice. That is a reference. Shadows die twice. Where have I heard that? Sekiro, a video game. I'm a gamer, so I know about games. That is the name of it, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Oh, I wonder if it's a reference from that, because it was released in 2019. But also, what does it mean? Shadows Die Twice. And I wonder if particularly Sekiro has a meaning. The title is a double meaning representing the game's core combat mechanic and its overarching narrative about immortality and resurrection. I guess for here, resurrection or a second life. Interesting, like our old person ends and we start anew. Let's carry on. We're going to go to Broken Vision Rhythm, which is our next one. It features Harry Rule of God Complex. Okay. Oh, it's so aggression, isn't it? This is nuts. Fuck. This... I'm only really on the second vocal track, the third track of the album. This is really something. This is big. That was so overwhelming to the senses, but in a good way. The heaviness of it, this almost like there's this something stuck to you and you're trying to pull it off, that frustration, that panic, that anxiety. That's what I felt with this. Broken vision rhythm, going through the motions, losing your sight, losing who you are, losing track of what is going on because something has pulled you in, consumed you so deeply. It's so full of energy, like chaotic panic energy. Cleanse my soul and let the pain subside. We're already feeling pain, bad feelings. I need to be cleansed. I need to have this detox of my soul. Control, this is the final conquest. Battleground of the mind. Oh, time has come to take it. We're losing our mind. Stolen souls, imprisonment of flesh, reduced to a drone. Time has to take it. Backbone, structure of the world. Hang on, so reduced to a drone. Is this again just going through the motions, flying around but not really having any thoughts, just doing it? Backbone, structure of the world, propping up the tyrants, the master who would shut you down, putting them on a pedestal, the evil people. Is that more directed at politics, talking about tyrants and the master who would shut you down, or is this symbolism and metaphorically speaking, talking about something as a tyrant or a master who would shut you down? I mean, it could apply to both, couldn't it? Take it back to the start, take you back to the start. I want to go back. I want to go back to where I could feel and think more clearly, perhaps. The weight rises in sync, intoxicated. I can't see. My judgment has failed me. An obsession so deep it burns. That already feels like I naively went in looking at this new shiny thing that was really appealing, but I've been tricked. This was a trap. The weight rises in sync with this maybe fast approaching doom. The weight rises in sync with that. It feels heavier. It feels darker very quickly. Everything just suddenly feels quite bleak. Intoxicated, I can't see. I'm so consumed. I'm intoxicated. Suggests you feel like drunk, out of control on something. And you can't see properly. Broken vision, rhythm. It feels like going through the motions of this experience. An obsession so deep it burns. This thing that's lured them in, they're now obsessed. It's become an addiction and it hurts, but they can't stop it. faster, evade its gaze, trying, like it's happening so quick, but you want to avoid it because it's going to pull you in even more. There's this realization of knowing what's happening, but it's still happening and you can't stop it, and you almost allow it to happen. I can't explain it. I feel that from like being in a narcissistic, toxic relationship, and the pull that it has, and before you know it, it's consumed you, and it's so hard to get out. But you know it's happening. It's a weird thing to describe because you know it's not good for you, but you're pulled in. Breathe in defeat. That's kind of acceptance that it's taking over. Makes sense to follow, does it? The broken vision obsolete. Makes sense to follow the broken vision obsolete. So this pattern we're following. Ruling the end of your world, you stand agape, chasing this fickle fantasy. Again, it's like this acceptance that this is doing you in. This is the end. You just have to succumb, I guess. This fickle fantasy, this thing that's almost stupid. Fickle is like it says here, frequently changing your mind, feelings, or loyalties without a clear reason, making you unreliable. You're not thinking with your mind properly. Maybe you're following your heart. Maybe it's these superficial things that don't have any real substance or meaning. And this fickle fantasy doesn't have any substance or meaning, but you're following it anyway. You're chasing it like it's some huge thing. You're obsessed. And it's so understandable to feel that, even though it's stupid. It's a stupid thing that as humans, naturally, we can succumb to that feeling, being pulled in by something that's bad for us. This is so powerful. This writing is fucking brilliant. Someone did say, because I do lyric analysis and really want to understand things, I might be so far off, but this, I can apply it to my experiences, and it's pretty rough, really. Feed from both trails, you psyche cannibal. What does that mean? Like you have a cannibal mind. Psychological parasite. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, so getting into the mind. Feed from both trails. Perhaps you're getting into the mind, but also getting into like your heart and soul. You're completely encompassing. Birth from devalue. Following testament of the superficial. Abolish this sin now. Birth from devalue. There's no value even from the beginning. What does that mean? It can be interpreted to two contexts. Either literal psychological term referencing how certain coping mechanisms stem from childhood development, which feels like this, perhaps, why we are the way we are. How did I let this happen? Well, actually, maybe think about it. It could be stuff that you've gone through growing up. But it also could be a concept about how giving birth is societally diminished. No, I think it's more about the psychological term. Coping mechanisms stem from childhood development. Wow. I've never heard that phrase. We start somewhere, right? We can't know everything. I've crammed my brain with so much information that it's fun learning new stuff. I crave that. But abolish this sin now feels like I don't want it. But I'm being pulled in, but I don't want it. And again, I let it in and it took everything. It's like saying like we're hesitant, but also this is happening. Maybe it's already happened and now we're coming to terms with it. I'm not sure, but this is wild. Forfeit all patience to a bottomless pit. I'm giving up, essentially. Exhausted, agitated and sick, these thoughts and feelings you can feel when you're in a really dark place. Reduced to a drone and time has taken it all. The master shut you down, screaming, cleanse my soul and let the pain subside. This feels like the master being someone else, but you are screaming, cleanse my soul and let the pain subside, I think. Desperately pleading for it to stop. But the master has already known what the fate was, which goes back to what it was before, isn't it? My decision sealed. Or maybe I've just gone in and gone with it because that was my fate. I don't know. There are some annotations, but I actually don't want to look into it until after because this is really fun. Okay, so now we're on to track 4, which is a two-way mirror. So we're going to listen to the last part of Broken Vision Rhythm and then go from there. There's so much. There's so much in those guitars. There's so many intricate details. The drums are fucking powering through. The vocals, there are so many different types of vocals. There are some really like high-pitched kind of sound. I don't know what the technical term is for that. Then there's some like really rough, they're all rough, but there's like this, everything induces panic and this feeling of tension. Man, this is good. This is like nothing I've heard before. And I hate saying stuff like that because I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of heavy stuff. There's a lot of stuff that sounds similar, but this, you can see their creativity from this, from just a few of the stuff that I've listened to so far. You can see that already. And the fact that this is just proving to me that they are something else. It's so nice. It's so cool. And we're on track 4, Two-Way Mirror. Let the pain subside. There's a bit of a calmness here, like the pain has subsided, maybe temporarily. 7 minutes 26. No. That's how far in we are. It's a timestamp. This feels triumphant. Hopeful. Oh, maybe not. Different feel to this. Distant drums. calmness. Understanding. Hearing conversations, but that was so different. Yes, this goes into 451 days, 451 days. 451 days. I wonder how many months that is. It's over a year. There must be, maybe for how long it's like. I don't want to actually, I was going to search, but I feel like it would spoil it. So we'll find out later. But a two-way mirror. Two-way mirror. What does that mean? This one sounded more conventionally like a track or a style that I've heard before, but the others felt like crazy different, so much chaos. There was a piece to this. There was a bit more calm, at least, but it still felt a bit sad, maybe reflective, maybe hanging on to someone, wanting them to say, give reassurance. We'll go through the lyrics, but I actually really liked the sound of it, even though that one sounds like something I could have heard a similar beat to. I think the work gone into this makes it different anyway. The fact that they're writing, I'm seeing already, I really like it. I'm quite impressed with the types of vocabulary they're using. There are certain words that I have to look up or remind myself of what they mean, and I think that's nice because it's not basic, it's intelligent writing. And I don't think that every track needs to be like challenging the boundaries of traditional music or styles. That's just an observation. I really liked it though. So far so good. So it starts with inconsistent and inconcise, blood of blood and life of life. Isn't that a religious reference? Looking through the eyes of a life lived twice, mirroring emotions, sharing the same vice. Precious vice. Vices are our weaknesses. So I was talking about an entity. I let it in and it took everything. This could be like I let in the darkness. I let in the depression. I let in a feeling of sorts, and it took everything from me. and I became a shell of myself. Is it due to another person, another experience? I don't know. Could it be multiple experiences? Maybe. This, I guess it's got an overarching theme of I let it in and it took everything from me. But talking about inconsistent and inconcise, they're not good. They're not positive words. Not being consistent shows being a bit scatty, being a bit chaotic, which is actually the reality of life. We can't always stick to routines. Some people are better than others. Not everyone can follow a pattern. Some people find comfort in that, but some people struggle. And depending on the situation, depends on how consistent you can be or how inconsistent you will be as a result. But inconcise is like not being clear, I think. Inconcise means not concise. Well done, Google. It describes speech, writing, or communication that uses too many unnecessary words, strays from the main point, or is overly long and not drawn out. Basically, it's not clear. It's not clear. It's not getting to the point. That could be about him, about the situation, about the other person, if there are other people here. Blood and life of life. Is it family? Is it just a connection of two people that is really strong, a really strong bond? Looking through the eyes of a life lived twice. Is that looking at yourself in the mirror and you've experienced things, but this resurrection of sorts, or learning from experiences, a bit like that reference to Sekiro, shadows die twice. Perhaps this is about a life lived twice and referencing that. Mirroring emotions, copying people, sharing the same vice, precious vice. So there's this addiction that two entities seem to have, it seems. And he's saying it's a precious vice because it's something that you come to rely on as a source of maybe comfort or coping. It just there's a safety in it, even if it's not truly safety. Hoping to find faith, miming dissolving grace. Just say, I know. So wanting to find faith, find hope, but it says miming dissolving grace, this fall from grace, this... Can't think of another way to say it, but I guess I don't need to find... I have this thing where I try and give like 10 different ways of saying something in a different way, and I realise I don't have to repeat myself or carry on. I hate watching my own content, by the way. I talk too much. But anyway, just say I know. There's this want for reassurance, asking for reassurance. Please reassure me. Just say I know. Please agree with me that I'm not going mad. Few and far between you appear. Give me the sounds I need to hear. Losing seconds that liberate in tears. Blimey, this also kind of reminds me of like a narcissistic relationship where someone gives you a little bit, keeps you hanging on, but doesn't make you feel fully cared about, fully loved. This can be with a friend, a partner, a family member. But for me, it was a relationship where they made me feel really small, but they did show up here and there. Give me sounds I need to hear. You say what I want to hear, and I naively believe that because I'm a vulnerable person, perhaps, but that's not enough because perhaps it's not real. It's not true. They say things so that you go along with them. They say things to control you. They make you want to feel that they really do care, but actually they don't. You just know. Losing seconds that liberate in tears. Freeing with tears. I guess freeing those seconds with tears. passing time with tears. But liberating in tears feels like a sigh of relief. Oh, I guess give me the sounds I need to hear. That reassurance helps give a sigh of relief. Moments of relief there. Hoping to find faith, miming dissolving grace. Just say I know was the first chorus, but they've extended this to say I know, it's all in our heads. Just say I know, and I'll stay here instead. So even saying like me saying, oh yeah, say I know to reassure me that it's not in my head. But this reassuring, maybe even gaslighting, to say that you're just being silly. This is not real, and don't allow it to take over and consume you. Too late. Just say I know, and I will stay here instead. Does that mean I'll stay with you? I will go along with this situation even though it's not feeling good. But if you reassure me, then maybe that's good, and maybe it's not so bad, but it doesn't feel good. What would you do if you weren't afraid? That's a nice posing question. Asking them what would you do if you weren't afraid, and I guess saying that I am afraid, and so I'm acting in this weird way because I don't know how else to act. I need reassurance. I'm feeling needy. I'm feeling confused. I don't know what's real and what isn't, and I don't know how to make these decisions because I'm suppressed. I'm not really me right now. What would you do if you weren't afraid? What would you do if you weren't if you were the opposite of this? If you felt brave, would you be like this, or would you act differently? And usually, yeah, you would act differently because you're not feeling that dread in the pit of your stomach. Hoping to find faith, miming dissolving grace, just say I know. Hoping to find faith, miming dissolving grace, just say I know. It's all in our heads, just say I know, and I'll stay here instead. So it's just repetition. But that was so nice and peaceful. After the chaotic first few tracks, or 2 tracks, after theme, that was kind of a nice welcome change. Now we're going to 451 days, so let's see what that's going to be like. I like the chaos, by the way. Nice to have variation. I imagine like lying, floating in some water, questioning life. Oh, it looks like there's an interlude with Nina Simone. Ooh. This doesn't feel... I feel on edge.
Well, what's true? Ring to me? Yeah. Same thing is to you. You tell me. No, you tell me. Because I've been talking for such a long feeling. It's just a feeling. It's like, how do you tell somebody how it feels to be in love? How are you going to tell anybody who has not been in love how it feels to be in love? You cannot do it to save your life. You can describe things, but you can't hold it. But you know that's why I mean that's what I was on stage with you and you felt pain. I tell you what freedom is for me, no fear.
So, yeah, so you can't really make out a lot of it, But that's the point, isn't it? It's kind of in the background. It's almost like a dream. You're hearing these sounds. It creates a really cool soundscape there where there's like this atmospheric feeling of like questioning, contemplating life. So this is a conversation with Nina Simone. Well, what's free to you, Nina? She says, what's free to me? Yeah. Same thing it is to you. You tell me. No, you tell me. It's just a feeling. It's just a feeling. It's like, how do you tell somebody how it feels to be in love? How are you going to tell somebody... Oh, sorry. So this is her just saying this now. It's like, how do you tell somebody how it feels to be in love? How are you going to tell anybody who has not been in love how it feels to be in love? You cannot do it to save your life. Yeah, it's a feeling you feel. You have to feel that to understand it. You can't describe it to someone else. That's so powerful. I feel that a lot when I'm trying to interpret feelings and thoughts from music. I know what I feel. Putting that into words isn't always so easy, but I do my best. But I love that everyone can feel something different. And there are times where you feel that same feeling and you can't describe it, but you just know. I think that's the power of music. And I love that that connection is what connects a lot of us. You know it's good, you feel that feeling, but you can't quite put your finger on what it is that you feel, but you feel it. Oh, and perhaps this is, oh, it's very appropriate for this, isn't it? Yeah, you can describe things, but you can't tell them, but you know when it happens. That's what I mean by free. I've had a couple of times on stage where I really felt free, and that's something else. That's really something else. I'll tell you what freedom is to me. No fear. I mean, really no fear. If I could have that half my life, no fear. Lots of children have no fear. That's the closest way, the only way I can describe it. That's not all of it, but it's something to really, really feel. Freedom. Yeah, having no hesitation, no fear, this true confidence and certainty that everything is going to be fine. There's no troubles, nothing holding you back. And fear can really hold you back. Fear can take it away. Even saying this question, what would you do if you weren't afraid? But it feels like this has left them afraid. This feeling, I let it in and it took everything. It's left me unable to trust, having doubts, feeling negative about everything. It's left a real mark on me, and I don't feel free because of that. It's them talking about it in a philosophical way here. I wonder what 451 days means. We're going to go on to New Faces in the Dark. It's really ethereal, isn't it? Sounds are cool. Huh? Feels like we're in a dream. Oh! looks like it's going to give me a jump scare in a minute. I don't like this. I feel like I'm in a horror movie now. That was dirty. Fuck. That was so strange. The start being kind of dreamlike and then it turning into a bit of a nightmare. That was insane. The meaty guitars on that, the drums insanely fast. Just the chaos. But this kind of dreamy parts. This is so what Loathe is so great at. Forgive her. Was it her? Did she cause pain? Hatred echoes through thin walls. A cry for help becomes a cry for war. Shit. So when you're needing a way out, crying for help, if no one's listening, that turns to anger and needing to do something, action. If no one's going to help, you got to help yourself. And I guess that realization of, oh, fucking do something then. Got to do something. So needing help, feeling a bit needy, then determined to do something myself. It feels like follow directions, Drew. Through fear, I move around you. That feels like this controlling behavior that someone has asserted on them. I move around you through fear. I'm scared of you. But I'm so addicted to you. I'm obsessed with you. But I'm scared of you. And this might not be a person. This might still be this feeling, this depression or something, but whatever it is, they're scared of it and they're moving. Their every move is kind of dictated or controlled by this thing, bearing a weight that suffocates too. It's overpowering. I can't breathe. Grow beyond amongst the few. You'll suffocate too. I mean, it's so encompassing that this is gonna have a detrimental effect on everyone and everything. She will never know the beaten course, a cold soul that's seeking warmth. She will never understand what I'm going through. I've been left cold, even, and perhaps bitter because of what I've been through, what I've been put through. But I just want to love. I just want to be better. I want good things. But you don't seem to understand that because you don't understand morals or good things. You have no heart. You have no soul. We tremble when you're near, caught in between love and fear. This difficult situation, feeling like you're in the middle of these conflicting feelings. Feeling love for someone and being scared of them is not healthy. It's not what someone should naturally feel in a healthy relationship, but it is something that a lot of us have felt in an unhealthy relationship, and that's sad, honestly. Deliver her new face, the former erased, a cold soul seeking warmth. Is that change her, or Now she looks different to me because of what she's done. The past has been erased, the former erased, because I don't see them in that light anymore. A cold soul seeking warmth. Are they talking about them? They're the cold soul? Maybe excusing it, saying they're just seeking warmth. They don't mean it? Or is it me, how a result of my experiences I'm cold, but I just want to seek warmth? Then there's this really creepy bit. Sunken new faces in the dark. The bad side to people. You've spit your poison. You've showed your true colours, and they're not good. Beat me through the ground. You can be beaten to the ground, but if you're beaten through the ground, that's even lower. That's harsher. The most awful torture, punishment. Condemned by your own torment, by your own torrent. Is that you are projecting what you've been through, causing harm to someone else as a result of your experiences. When faces change, you call our names. Freeze second frame. It starts again. When faces change, you call our names. Collapsing all the same. It starts again. What does that mean? Faces change, people change. When you see the dark side, you call our names. You call us. We're drawn to this darkness. Freeze, second frame, it starts again. It's a cycle. Not sure. And then we go into Red Room. This, no time to think. Fuck. I love the sounds. Abrupt. This sounds sinister as fuck. Oh, it's giving me chills. Feels like something lurking underneath the surface. Evil. Wow, those drums. The guitars. Anger. Torture. This ain't good, mate. Fuck. Red Room. That was quick. Lie, breathe, feed. It's talking about whatever this entity, this bad person or this bad thing is doing. It does feel like a person, but it could be a feeling, this feeling that you feel like, but it's not real, but you believe it. You know, like imposter syndrome, where you're like, oh, I'm just rubbish, I don't deserve to be here. That feeling is lying to you. It's not real, and you do deserve to be here, and you should value yourself. So that's why I'm saying it could be a person or it could be a thought or feeling that is giving you a false sense of security. Either way, it's feeding off your vulnerability, your fear. You're lying, you're breathing, but breathe could be to like just exist and be doing all of this. Feed withering in jealousy. Someone who is jealous, this is all fading into nothing because this jealousy makes any warm feeling or positive feeling redundant. Do you believe that it was ever worth it? That it was ever worth it? Fuck. Was this all just a waste of our time? What value did this have? Because it's left me a shell of myself. Red Room. Mordor. Red Rum is murder backwards, and they use that a lot in horror movies. But Red Room, I mean, it's similar. It can sound the same, but also being in a red room is this like blood, danger, scary, negative thoughts and feelings. Red is definitely symbolic of danger, or can be. It can be passion, it can be love, but this does not feel, this feels like a withered, gone away love, or a one-sided love, or something that felt safe but is not anymore, and it's very dangerous. Now we're at Screaming, track 8. So we're officially more than halfway through, because there's 14 tracks. That was fucking weird in all the best ways. Screaming. Make sure I got the lyrics. I imagine it to be more chaotic to begin with. Screaming. This feels very going through the motions. a nice groove. What the fuck? That was amazing. We're approaching one that I've already done. Is it really you? But let's go back to that. What the fuck? That... They play so intricately. Like, those drums, they didn't have to be so... They didn't have to be so many drum parts per section, but it adds so much to it. It adds so many layers. They could have done that way simpler, but that's not them. And I think that's what's special about them, that they make it so complex, because there's something that does. You feel that, you sense it, you hear that in the music. The guitars as well, there was really nice, like, groovy bits. And again, the blending of genres that they do is you can feel it. Sometimes it's quite subtle, but it's really noticeable that they're doing really cool things. So this felt a little less pain from the situation of the Red Room. Take a step back, and I feel like that first line is like, let's take a step back and look at this objectively, maybe. Knowing all that's real, not everything is real. Trying to look at it from that perspective of being sensible. Breathe out, inhale, exhale. Almost like a sigh of relief. Alone again, drowning in the noise, the slow learner. Perhaps this is about us and how we've experienced these situations that we would rather not have, but we're here anyway, and we can learn, but slowly. Saying alone again, perhaps I am alone again, and I can breathe. I can think straight and clearly, but also drowning in the noise, because this silence can be so loud. Our brain can be really loud, and all these thoughts going through it everything we've been through, questioning it all and trying to make sense of it all, it's naturally going to take a lot of our brain power. Distance in fire that surrounds us. There are pyres all around you. Can't you see? Do you see them? It's like being in this crumbling chaos. There are fires all around. There is chaos all around. Everything is destroyed or coming down, and he can see it. But perhaps other people can't. But it's so visible to him. It's so apparent. Can't you see what I see? That even goes back to the beginning, isn't it? Doesn't it? Will you see what I see? Oh my goodness. Even if it's not a callback, I feel like that is so nice, that detail. Distance leaving like the first time I did screaming. Trying to separate. And again, take a step back and almost remove yourself from the situation, or know that it's not right and you need to distance yourself. Saying I've tried that. Perhaps this is a cycle. Perhaps leaving isn't the definitive end, but it's a step in the right direction. But perhaps he did come back and he was screaming because everything that's happened, this turmoil, doesn't always have to be so black and white. Even just like what I've said about leaving doesn't mean it's the end. It's not always clear. Situations can go ways which we didn't anticipate, or ways that we didn't want to perhaps, but it happens. Life is like that. Life, the expectation versus reality is never the same. And I think saying it doesn't have to be so black and white, it doesn't always follow a set pattern. It doesn't always go the way everyone says it does. We don't have a manual to figure that out, though. If it goes slightly askew, how do we deal with that? And everyone deals with things differently. That's quite a cool way of articulating, if that is correct. But it still fits. Pull the wool over my eyes one last time. So even wanting to leave, but saying, I'll engage in this one last time. Perhaps pull the wool over my eyes, blind me, give me this full sense of security one last time, because there is something that's pulling me in, even though I know it's bad for me. But I only do it one last time, though, because it's bad for me. But that's the danger, isn't it? You allow it to keep pulling at you. There's a point where you don't have that strength again to pull away. And that's really powerful. And I feel like that, the theme of the album, again, letting it in and it take everything. Even if you felt strong at one point, you might not feel that strong at another. And that could be when it took everything. And before you knew it, it's done. You're a shell of yourself and you can't get back. Or it feels like a very difficult task. Take a step back, letting go of the fear. Oh, tonight I'm all alone again. Or tonight I am alone again. All I hear is noise deafening. Hopelessly, I have no voice, but I'm screaming on the inside. Living in tragedy. Everything's fucked. And now nothing is how it once seemed, like I said before. It's all very obvious what they mean, I think. But yeah, letting go of the fear, trying to let go and trying to be free. But also this pull that it's not allowing you to be free because it's still got this hold on you. And everything feels different now. That's so well written. I will write to you through the stars and the clouds with threads in the air. Trade your dreams with mine. What does that mean? I will write to you through the stars and the clouds. To not, perhaps in my dreams, I will think of you, I'll communicate with you. Perhaps there's some sort of magic to it. With threads in the air. It's talking about pulling the wool over my eyes. Perhaps this is removing the wall, being free from them, keeping distance. I don't know. Trade your dreams with mine. That feels like this pull again, saying, all right, I will let you, engage with me. And maybe it could be good again. Trade your dreams with mine, not your fears, not your worst things, but your happier thoughts. And then distance leaving, like the first time I did screaming. Doesn't always have to be so black and white. Pull the wool over my eyes one last time, one last time, one last time. So it is kind of wanting to go back there. Okay, then is it really you? I actually can't remember what I made of these lyrics. It's been a little while. It's been a few months since I did this and the Sleep Token cover. The way I found out about Loathe was through Sleep Token. So I'm very grateful that this particular track led me to where we are now. Lots of people recommended the album as well, but this really kind of pulled me in. I think giving something a chance, you witness it and it feels good. So you're like, oh, okay, people are talking, not talking shit. They know what they mean here. I'm so impressed with this already. So, is it really you? So we're asking one last time. We're keeping distance. Perhaps time has passed, or perhaps this is a first instance where we think we've seen them, or think there's a vision of someone that maybe doesn't feel quite right. Questioning, is it really you? Are you the person I thought you were? Or am I confusing you with someone else? Okay. Feels ethereal. I think I remember this being quite ethereal. Hence the Sleep Token cover. It's very calming. Sounds heavy, but it's still a ballad sounding song. Maybe not ballad. the acoustic. The feeling. Just for a moment, let's feel that nice feeling again. It's fleeting though, right? Gourd. But back to, is it really you? So I think I've summed it up in just a few words of like wanting to experience that thrill, that feeling with someone just one more time. Face away, deal with the pain your own way. How could they deal with the pain? We deal with things in our own ways, right? I knew it was mine too. And you? Is it really you? Let's search the sky for a while, you and I. Collide like two stars for a while, you and I. All of it, yeah, it feels like there's this... We've been through some awful things. How could anyone understand? But you and I, there's this bond. And only you and I experienced that. Can we feel it again? Crushed by silent snow, not the first I know. Caught in the ebb and flow, I'm bleeding out. Oh, you know. Name a few dimensions we can flow between with no obstructions. So again, just wanting to go back to that. But crushed by silent snow. I don't know, there's something that can be deadly but appear nice. Not the first, I know. It's not the first person to happen to, but it doesn't make it any less difficult. Caught in the ebb and flow, feeling like caught in the middle of everything. This, before referencing between love and fear, conflicting emotions and thoughts and feelings. But then wanting to go off to whatever dimension, another world, another life, another timeline I'd give anything to find, adorned by countless souls seeking further untold. I guess everyone else searching for this peace. At this winter you will be, and if I join you there, you will ask me, is it really you? Perhaps like feeling like they're in a better place. And in this crowd, someone sees you there and is like, is that really you? Are you you? Are you? I don't know, this like, almost like said with wonder and fascination, rather than whatever this relationship has been, or this thought and feeling that's been cold and dark and hollow. Yeah, definitely feels like let's just escape together one last time. So that felt dreamy, and then we approach Gourd, which doesn't suggest a good feeling. But let's see. It's like hollowing someone out, and let's have a look. This calm peace, maybe healing. Feeling okay. Not much healing though. End that. Feels deadly. Very sinister. Stop it there for a second because they paused with concentrate and I felt like I was getting lost, and then they're pulling you back. Concentrate. Fuck. So aggressive. Oh my god. Another abrupt end. Gore. Gored. Gored. That's fucked. That was definitely full of aggression. That was this back to, we went from like this dreamy, ethereal, please let me feel at peace one more time. This is not allowing us peace. You'll break. You will eventually crack because this is not good for you. Merciless in full form. It's a sacrilege conceived in robed black. Impossible to rip apart from it. Listen close. Hear it calling for you. That's fucking creepy. But it's calling you. It's pulling you in. It has no remorse. It has no, it's ruthless, it's reckless, it's, that's not the word I'm looking for, but it doesn't care how you feel. It's coming for you regardless. You can't run away from it, you can't pull it off you, it sticks to you and you can't get rid of it. Wow. It's writing, it's merciless. The word was there the whole time. It moves through you. There's no turning back. Concentrate face to face with what turns. The unsettling fascination opaque. Sick beast spread poison. You are consumed. All of this feels like you are consumed. You are fucked. This is completely taking over. It's taking everything from you. Run, hide, cry. Doesn't matter, because nothing will help you this time. Soon trapped by rot and vine. It's literally enclosing you like vines. It's rotting you from within. Nowhere to go. You are mine. A truth resonates as you fall into in endless spiral. I love how this is like a narration. It's like telling you what's happening as this is consuming you. Incompetent in disbelief. Reality is frozen. You're incapable of disbelief. This all is consuming you, that it feels like this is it. This is the only reality. Reality is frozen. Perhaps it's not. Perhaps this, what the fuck is this? Feel the jaws clench, and now slowly you bend. Reminds me a bit of Fangs. Fangs is their latest track that they've just released. About the teeth that get a hold of you and you can't get out. Fuck. Fuck. I don't know how many times I said fuck, but it's been a lot. Okay. Heavy is the head that falls with the weight of 1,000 thoughts. I couldn't fit it along here, so that's why I've just put ... Okay. I'm already ready to rate this album. But I won't spoil it. This is insane. We've got 4 more. Track 11. Heavy is the head that falls with the weight of 1,000 thoughts. Felt that dread. That dread was everywhere. Panic, the chaos. Awful. What interesting sound. Like this elongated sound with loads of chaos. Oh my. Oh. This is the end. This is... apparently... I feel like it's gone into the next track though. That's the end. That's like an acoustic. This is a sad cartoon. So heavy is the head that falls with the weight of 1,000 thoughts. Literally speaking, all these thoughts that have gathered in your head, there are so many of them at this point. This is a huge, awful experience that leaves you questioning everything. It's not good for you, and this can consume you alone. This heavy as a head that falls with the weight of 1,000 thoughts. You're literally, it's crushing you. You can't bear the weight of it anymore because there's too much. It's too much. It's overwhelming. Wow. The path that you seek will conquer what you see. The earth has abandoned me in my time of need. It can feel isolating. You've been led down this path that was a trick, a trap. The path that you seek will conquer what you see. That will take away reality from you. That will reduce you to nothing, or brainwash you, or warp your mind so much that you see things differently through rose-tinted glasses. And the earth has abandoned me in my time of need. Who saved me? No one saved me. I think the reality is you have to save yourself in these situations. Or you look for a sign, or you look for something that can help you out. But at this point, it's saying there was no one there to help. And I was at my lowest. And now look. Fall through the streams the way you fell before. Those streams are smaller than rivers and oceans, and through those cracks, through those small things, they can grow and evolve, and before you know it, everything's fucked, and you've got a lot more fixing or healing to do when you're in ocean territory versus stream territory. So maybe it's going back to falling through the streams the way you fell before. It can appear small, but everything adds up. Crawl through the remains just how you like to crawl. You're literally at rock bottom, but it's saying to crawl through the remains. Everything that's crumbled around you, crawl through them. Just like how you like to crawl. Is this referring back to this addictive feeling that it still pulls you in even though you know it's bad for you, but you kind of, there's almost an enjoyment from it because there's the small good pull. You missed it, your ticket to heaven. No window that tempts you to the other side. No window that tempts you to the other side. The bad side or the good side? I guess it doesn't matter. On the track list of the album, after Gord, it says the door is open. So is this like a turning point? Is this like a realization that everything has been stripped of us? But here you can make a choice. It doesn't feel like there's a choice being offered. So I'm not sure. But it does say the door is open, but it might just be the artwork that I'm seeing on this. It might not actually be the official artwork, so ignore that for a second. But you missed your ticket to heaven. Being consumed with this, you fucked it for yourself. For a moment, time was golden. Things were good. But falling faster down. Heavy is the head that falls with the weight of 1,000 thoughts. They said the thing. Lethargic in motion. A sensation like no other strikes the body over and over, over and over. Trapped in loops of suffocating sound. Fuck. You feel heavy, you can't move, you feel paralyzed. There's this feeling that they can't explain, but it consumes you, and it's relentless. Relentless. That's the word I was looking for earlier. Heavy is the head that falls with the weight of 1,000 thoughts. So that's repeated over and over. It begins to tear away what used to believe. It's brainwashing you. It's slowly destroying you, taking everything from you. They really articulate this well. Eyes close as the light beams, defeated by what you ran to. You let it in, you ran to it, and it took everything from you. The light beams, that shiny bright light that blinds you, that led you in false security, blinded by the sun, is what they said in Aggressive Evolution. And fuck me, is it so true. Defeated by what you ran to. This is on you, I guess. It's difficult because it's very easy to be pulled into something that feels appealing, that makes you feel a certain way, even if you know it's not good. And we as humans tend to do that quite a lot. Anyway, that was brilliant. Another exceptional track with so many different sounds that made me feel all sorts of things. The chaos, the doom. Okay. And then that ending, that was interesting. This is the ending. A sad tale, perhaps. You're a shell of yourself. Even the music is more basic. It's just one guitar on its own. Lonely, isolated. Fuck, that's so well put. You're a shell of yourself. God, that's good. Fuck. A sad cartoon. It feels like there's an element of hope in this sound. calm. Ooh. Ooh. Something sinister about that. Unexpected the way that went. So we've got a sad cartoon, but then a sad cartoon reprise that's like recovery. Acceptance. Can be a return to previous action. Taken back. That's fucking trippy. Oh my god. Mindfuck. Brain warping. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's go back to the lyrics of the sad cartoon. That was... they have such an ability to make you feel stuff. And like I was saying earlier, like, it's hard to describe what you're feeling, but what they play just invokes all these emotions that you just feel it. I love that they kind of hinted at that in 451 Days. It's just a feeling. They are creating these emotions with their sound. That's so powerful. Obviously the lyrics add so much more depth to it, but they really they create something amazing with the way they present it to you. And there's so many layers. Like that song, that track, again, could have been done so much simpler, but it's almost like there's like a, in parts we've heard where there's like a steady elongated note, but then there's like so many drums chaotically around it that it feels like they don't quite match up together, but they exist at the same time while your brain is in such turmoil. That is such a really, really cool detail. It's so creative. And this is what is setting them apart from other people in my eyes, that I've not experienced such creativity in this way before. There are so many people out there that are creative, that are doing things that are amazing, but this is just something else. This is from 2020, and it still feels like the future. How the fuck's that happened? This is 6 years old. Wow. In bloom you sing such beautiful colours. This is talking about the nice side. God, you can be so wonderful. What a shame in this world that beauty alerts the others. Beauty is maybe like a beacon that can appear vulnerable or allows people to tear it down or allows people to gravitate towards it, that this is why we can't have nice things kind of way. Fray from the light till you see it, I'm gone. Come away from the light. I'm gone. You see the light. I'm gone. This isn't good for me. Stare into my eyes. I'll show you who I am inside. It's simple. I'm certain from behind the curtain. It's in your hands this time. Stare into my eyes. So I'll show you what I've been through. I'll tell you a story with my eyes. I'll share my vulnerability with you. I'll open up. It's in your hands. What you do with that is up to you. But don't take it for granted, or don't use me for it, perhaps. Colours are swirling now that we're falling. Everything just feels like a bit of a blur. Everything's warped. And we're falling, we're going lower. That's not a good thing. What are the odds? Now that we're falling, colours are swirling. Why were you lost? Is he talking about himself or the other person? Stretched to the stars, you know, through tunnels they follow. What does that mean? It says here, could be the protagonist's love interest leading the protagonist to a discovery. Now that they are letting go of the world, the protagonist's beauty is unleashed again. Why were you lost? Describes the protagonist's past self, hatred and isolation from the world, unable to figure out their true self. I was going to say, so I had to look at the annotations there, as I just couldn't quite put my finger on it. But I think, why were you lost? That line does feel like the projection to others. Or you found your way here as a result of your past experiences. You did things that were influenced by your past experiences, and that can make someone good or bad, or a combination of both. It can make someone act in different ways. It can make someone react in different ways depending on what they've dealt with. And someone that might not be fazed by something at all, someone else could be extremely triggered and scared and frightened because it reminds them of an experience that they would like to forget. So perhaps why were you lost, trying to figure out why they were like this? Or them asking us, why were you lost? Almost like gaslighting. Inside a room of red room. That's a callback to number 7, track number 7. Through the window, just know you found me. So now you know. You found me deep down. Stare into my eyes, I'll show you who I am inside. So let me share that deep vulnerability with you, but no, you found me. And still it wasn't enough to make you say, what would you do if you weren't afraid? Oh my god, another callback to, I can't remember which one that was. Two-way mirror. Yeah. So, what would you do if you weren't afraid? It wasn't enough to make you say, what would you do if you weren't afraid? I guess not wanting to see another side to this situation. Not wanting to know if they could be happier, better, less scared. They wanted to inflict that on them relentlessly, mercilessly. And now, sadly, we're at our last track. I Let It In and It Took Everything. Fucking hell, this has been an emotional ride. This is so good. Even the title of the album is powerful as fuck. I Let It In and It Took Everything. I think so many of us have been there. You open up, you feel a full sense of security, and you embrace it. And little do you know that it can come back to bite you in the arse. This is incredible. This warped feeling. The introduction almost made me feel a bit of Come As You Are by Nirvana, that intro, which is quite different, but it just reminded me of that, and I had to say it before we go back into it. Start again. Is this a reflection? Is this when I have nothing left? Or is this going to be motivation? Definitely feels like we're alone. The door is open.
see you are. I see you are.
Almost like this hesitation to say what you really think. They've literally encompassed the whole title into that song. They've left us with nothing. It's literally, there's no hope. There's actual, like, this feeling of utter defeat. But it's really weird how it started out, it felt like that even the sounds felt like I'm trapped at the bottom of a well. Let me see if I can... Come as you are, but like at the bottom of a well looking up, I am so far down and I need to get out of here. And then it goes into like what feels like a bit more of a motivational sound. So the door is open, now I'm running away. Comfort waits where I will seek. How to free a light for weeks. We've found an opportunity, and it does say the door is open. It says it here, at the bottom here, along that line, the door is open. So perhaps after everything consumed us and broke us to the point where we had nothing left to give, we're exhausted, we can't do anything more, and we are utterly defeated. There's a door and we're running away, but that still doesn't feel good because no healing has taken place. So we don't know how to deal with this at this point. So I feel like it's keeping us in that mindset here rather than going, the door is open, I can run away, I can get far beyond this, I can feel good again. It's not that simple. And I really like how they encompass that into their music. They've just fucking shown the stark reality of things that some people gloss over. That's so powerful. How to free a light for weeks. I'm not sure if that's like getting rid of this blindsided, this thing that's ruined our sight. The light, letting the light in, blinding us. I'm not sure. Or how to free a light. I am the light, or I was a light that was shining brightly, but this came in and took that. I hate that cliche phrase, but it dimmed my light. How do I get that back, or how do I become free? For weeks, I don't know, it suggests time at least. Can you, and then it changed to this what felt like a bit of a turning point and motivational, but that's the full sense of security, isn't it? That you can feel this hope, but actually it's quickly taken away. Can you see me now? I've fallen near the end. Can you see me now? You hold the end. You've done this. This has destroyed me. Can you see that? Do you realize? Succumb to to shock and fear, to a damned climate drawing near the end, extending shadows that grip your mind, to whisper its doubt like one of a kind. One of a kind. This is like nothing you can explain, or you have to experience it. And this darkness has really taken a hold and completely consumed you. Culture in jeopardy, a line drawn and feathering. Cut and spread, force feed the false ego as you philosophize an enemy. I have no idea what half of that means. Culture in jeopardy. Danger, risk. So your whole being is about harm, injury, danger. A line drawn and feathering. Perhaps it was a clear line, but this line is physically disintegrating, feathering. Not sure. Cut and spread, force feed the false ego. Whose false ego? Is there an ego? There's this desire to inflict pain that they are thriving from. As you philosophize an enemy, you think about shift how you view and treat an opponent by analysing them through an intellectual, psychological, or existential lens. Instead of reacting purely with emotion, you step back and understand their motives, humanise their perspective, or treat the opposition as an intellectual. So you're trying to understand them. Why are they like this? They must be like this for a reason. Trying to analyse, trying to make sense. Why would they do this? Hallucinations dissolve into the floor. That feels like they've gone. This warped sense is gone. But is that a good thing? Or is that the fact that this reality is suddenly so beyond fucked? And that's why I let it in and it took everything. Because here we are right now. Realising the reality of it all. There's no meaning anymore because everything is fucked. Nothing feels good. Nothing makes sense. I don't understand it. My reality is so fucked and warped because of what this person or thing has done to me. And I can't function like a normal human would. Normal. I see you are. I see you are. I see you are. I see you are. Now I thought about a few different things as this was happening. One of the things was I can finally see you for what you are. I can really see. I know what has happened. I don't like it, but this makes sense now. You are real. But this is not good. Or I see you are, they don't feel like they're finished sentences, really. Particularly you are. I can see. That can make sense. But you are what? And I think there's this maybe holding back of what they are. Because it's too awful to speak out loud. Or it's too triggering. And they don't want to admit the fact that on one hand they can see the reality but they don't want to speak it into existence because we've already fucked beyond repair, or it feels like that right now. Naturally, it can feel like that, but also, from experience, you can make it to a better place. It might not be true happiness, and it might take a long time, but many elements you can improve upon or feel better about. But the harsh reality of life is that you can find faults in other things in life, or you might not truly be happy because of other factors. But that's what it feels like to me. I can't think of any other way to interpret that I see you are, but I think that's enough. Reading my mind back to me, it's clear you are here. Could it be that you are here and they just didn't say that? While sharing the same air, I can disappear. You have consumed so much of me. While you are here, I don't exist. I might as well not exist because you are controlling every part of me, and I can't function with you around. Reading my mind back to me, it's like telling you what to do. You're reading my mind. You can read my mind. You've got inside my mind. I've become you, or your puppet, because you have done this. That you know me so well now that I am not me anymore. Or I'm this version that is fucked. Again, a shell of myself. I've lost everything. And then it just repeats the last lines, reading my mind back to me. It's clear you are here. Whilst sharing the same air, I can disappear. I don't exist. I don't have to be here anymore. Everything's lost all meaning. Fuck. That was so powerful. I'm going to have a look through and see if there are annotations here for the song bios. So theme sees you slowly materialize within the universe, lasting in a space before gradually falling into the earth. Yeah. Set during the final moments of completing the record in Shibuya, Japan, the door opens. Oh, the door opens there. I don't know. Haven't got anything about aggressive. Oh, I have. Sorry, it's at the bottom. It's a take on addictive and destructive tendencies, following the chosen pursuit of happiness, whatever that may be, and realizing the consequence it holds, birthing a new but yet familiar energy, fittingly. Birthing a new yet familiar energy, fittingly. Aggressive Evolution was the first song we started and the first song we finished for the record. Wow. Okay, that was via Dead Press article. There was aggression in that. It really encompassed the theme of the song well. Then Broken Vision Rhythm. Most upbeat track on the record. There was a lot of energy there. Switches scene and focuses on the collective and busy hive mind and mentality that has developed at the forefront of culture. One that is leading an offbeat march of mostly uneducated, fictional, and often regressive beliefs and behaviours. That was the obsession so deep it burns faster. Broken vision obsolete. Chasing this fickle fantasy. Two-way mirror. I really like this one as well. This was the one that was kind of calmer, but still felt really, it had a depth to it. Even though it felt more like a traditional sounding track that I could have heard somewhere before, but they still added to it. A notable departure from those previous singles, the song emphasises the clean singing of lead vocalist Kadim. Yeah, the cleans are so good. His vocal range is impressive, and the other vocals you can hear in there from the rest of the band were really nice. The harmonising as well was nice. I didn't even touch on that at all. This single gained additional promotion when Deftones frontman Chino Moreno approved of it, posting the music video for Two-Way Mirror on his Twitter account. Doesn't say much about what it is. It does say within the lyrics, the opening line alludes to the crux of the song, a past failure of communication between Kadeem and his father. Not only was the communication between the two parties inconsistent and thus irregular, but also inconcise. Inconcise speech suggests that a lot was said between them without either party actually saying much. Could mean that both parties were not saying what they fully meant to. They weren't clear. He stated in an interview that this song is about his relationship with his dad and how he's now able to have conversations with him man to man. Two-way mirror. Looking through the eyes of a life lived twice. Mirroring emotions. Just say, I know. He wanted confirmation from his dad. Okay. Then, for 451 days, a showcase for one of the many glimmering and swirling sonic corridors that they created, housing the powerful echoes of Nina Simone's captivating expression on what freedom really is, contrasting connotations of becoming fearless and standing tall in the face of adversity, are created within. Yeah, there are lots of connotations there. That was really nice. That it helped me understand what they were trying to convey. Then we had New Faces in the Dark, recorded to have a retro sound using equipment from the 70s. Oh, that was also with Gord. Faces in the Dark, New Faces in the Dark. Yeah. I didn't even think about that. Just the variation of sounds was incredible. Takes place in a similar universe as The Cold Sun. Song being like a scene in a movie, but I've not heard Cold Sun. She will never know the beaten course, a cold soul that's seeking warmth. That was one of the lines in there. He's scared to expose his scars to her. He fears that if she knew the full extent of his past, it might push her away. Losing her could throw him right back into that lonely, cold soul he states he's trying to escape. And they mention a cold soul seeking warmth, so there must be a track called Cold Soul that they've done. Vulnerability mixed with fear of rejection and self-sabotage, and trying to be something you're not, or trying to put on a face that you're okay when you're not, I think. Then Red Room, which was quite short, and didn't have many words other than lie, breathe, feed, withering and jealousy. Do you believe that it was ever worth it? That it was ever worth it? Follows a colossal betrayal, which in fruition buries you deep inside the tight confines of the Red Room. Originally, the middle section was included in another song, which didn't make the record. However, towards the end of the process, we made the decision to utilise the section and add to the track list. Nice. I love that, hearing that about the process. But that felt very Danger style. That makes sense. That was aggressive. One of the last tracks to be completed was Screaming. That was not expected. I didn't expect it to start the way it did. Screaming felt like it was going to be like ragey from the get-go, but it wasn't, and it was basically taking a step back it felt, but wanting to say about one last time, pull the wool over my eyes one last time. It's based on the idea of letting go, seeing the bigger picture in any given situation, even if it is that you're scared to view it that way due to past experiences or trauma. Okay, kind of facing it. And then, is it really you? That was wanting to experience this peace with them one last time. The concept stemmed from an anonymous short story we had stumbled across long before the initial process for the record had begun. The basis revolves around a recurring dream. It did feel dreamy, and I think because Sleep Token and their whole story is kind of about this reality, dreaming, being with sleep, this one-sided relationship, it fits so well. So this track was perfect for that, I think. Revolves around a recurring dream which takes place in an idyllic setting of relevance. Surrounded by passers-by, you exist within the dream, night after night, until a change occurs. From the crowd, a voice softly asks, "Is it really you?" The phrase struck a chord within us that we held on to it for almost a year before it realised itself. Ah. So it's someone in a sea of people reaching out and saying, "Is it really you?" Which is what it felt like. Then we had Gord, which was track 10, and again that said it was used with equipment from the 70s. I wouldn't have been able to tell from that. I could with the other one, but that one, New Faces in the Dark, felt obvious to me. But just goes to show that I don't always notice things like that. That's cool to know. Again, it says it takes place in a similar universe as The Cold Sun. This was the one that started out with Merciless in full form. Feel the jaws clench and now slowly you bend. So this is completely taken a hold on you. Yeah. Yeah. Apparently they played it live for around half a year before release. People were calling it Goad, G-O-A-D, before it released. Then heavy is the head that falls with the weight of 1,000 thoughts. As self-explanatory as the title may seem, Heavy expands more on recurring topics that arise within those songs. Complete mental deconstruction. We often gravitate towards the more morbid topics for more aggressive songs, and this is no different. Losing control of yourself one limb at a time, one thought at a time, until you are reduced to nothing. Eyes close as the light beams, defeated by what you ran to. That was so powerful. The path that you seek will conquer what you see. This is not good for you. This will destroy you. This is not going to be a good choice. A sad cartoon has a similar flow to New Faces in the Dark, albeit part of a completely different personality. One that possesses the ability to be great and go on to do great things, yet falls behind with continuous self-doubt, clouding the well-deserved opportunities ahead of them. Gosh, so even like, you know, when you're in a bad place, but you don't take opportunities because you've lost all your confidence. You don't see those great things for what they are because your perception of reality is skewed and things have been damaged in the process. It says it's spoken from an anxious perspective as well as an encouraging one. Alongside aggressive evolution, the creation is really what spawned the confidence to really experiment with uncharted territory for them. In many ways, it's one of the most important songs in the album. I really loved it, and the reprise that went after just felt like they obviously went well together and could have been one track, but they've done that on purpose. That was very cool. I liked at the end of Heavy is the Head that falls with the weight of 1,000 thoughts. I liked how that had stripped everything away as well. That was really powerful. And then I let it in and it took everything. This is the deconstruction of safety. Yeah. The record title is set to invoke varied thoughts and feelings depending on what perspective it's viewed from. It being enigmatic and non-descriptive could be many things for different people. That was the same for me. It could be a feeling, depression, a person. Anyway, so it being enigmatic and non-descriptive could be many things. On a visceral level, the title holds huge relevance to this point in our lives and this point in the life of Loathe. To us, the song provokes feelings of tragedy, dismay, and defeat. Not one has to be tied into the norm of a happy ending, whereas in reality, the completion of the record throughout everything is one for us. Ah, that's a happy ending for them. And I love that it I think I even said this, it doesn't have to be a traditional like everything is great. Now we are looking at brighter days because this thing has just stripped you of everything, your confidence, your hope, your trust, your freedom, your thoughts. How can you possibly get up and move on? It's very difficult. So you're kind of left just as you are. Where do we go from here? That could be hopeful, but not everyone makes it out. So I really like that they left it there. That was so poetic. And I guess now, after we've kind of summarized everything and seen, I feel reassured by those descriptions that I've read. They are just annotations on Genius lyrics, so nothing is reviewed or completely approved or is direct from the band, but some of them are quotes from band interviews. My review and rating, I guess, this album from start to finish made me feel so many thoughts and feelings. It was fantastic. It caught me off guard more times than I can count. The amount of times I said fuck kind of goes to show that it really was impressive, amazing. The variation of different sounds, the way they created this world that made me want to just reach in and help this person struggling, because I know what that feels like. The layers they had, the intricate details of the guitars, the drums, the vocals, the different variation of the vocals. There was so much to it to deconstruct, and that was it's kind of exhausting to think about, like they capture that awful situation so well for me that is just a banger of an album. That is one that will live with me forever in such a good way. Like, I'm going to be listening to that all the time, and that is why it deserves a 12 out of 10. Or if I can't do that because you're not allowed, it surpasses every expectation I had. And I actually went in with quite high expectations, which is not something I normally do, but top marks. I can't fault it. Even Two-Way Mirror, which I thought was a bit more of a conventional song, and I wasn't expecting a more conventional style. God forbid they do something that sounds familiar. Actually, it was just that caught me off guard too. So they really impressed me with this. I really look forward to their next album, A Stranger to You, which already feels like it's doing great. Revenant and Fangs are the two I've heard so far, and they are both wildly different, but so are a lot of these tracks on this album, and that's why I feel like that's going to be great. But as for this one, how can you top that? I've still got 2 other albums before this other release to cover. The Cold Sun is actually the first album title. That's what that was. So apologies. And I've been talking your ears off for so long. If you want, please feel free to follow me on Patreon. Some of you are already following me and you are watching me on Patreon because this is where I'm playing this first. But if you haven't, or if you want to contribute or support the channel in a way that really, really helps, then you can join Patreon and you get your name up here if you join. Supporters tier is £1. Just £1 goes such a long way. So thank you to anyone on here on this list who has joined our Patreon. Thank you to you if you're watching on Patreon now, the early access video. Thank you. All our albums go up here first. And if you're not, thank you so much for watching on YouTube. Thank you for supporting me just by your view. I've spent over 2 hours on this, and every second so worth it. So thank you so much, and I will see you for another one soon. Please like and subscribe for more Loathe, for more music. This discovery journey has been fantastic, and it just keeps on getting better. I could cry, but I won't. Take care. See you soon. Bye bye.